interesting because it's such a strong scent. So
memory
attaches to scents.
And holidays, reminds me of holidays.
Like anything cooking, like peach pie or something that has like a really distinct smell. So clove, I think I will pass around the, maybe I'll just pass around the lid. If you're brave, you could take a bud and just chew on it. I'll give you a paper towel. Or you could put it in your little dish. When you don't like it anymore. Because it is...
Must be good for cavities too, right?
Yeah, just chew
it.
It is
I've heard
very
of people
hot.
doing it that can't afford like dental and stuff like that.
I never thought about it though.
You just chew on it.
Yeah, just chew on it.
I'm getting ready to bite it. I haven't yet.
I did.
It's hot. You probably will put it in the bowl. But
Oh, you can taste it. Burn.
clove,
It tastes yummy.
very strong antiseptic, antibacterial. So a very important herb in a tooth powder combination because it's going to target that bacteria, that unhealthy bacteria that can turn into cavities in the mouth. Really freshens the mouth, strengthens teeth and gums.
Antiseptic, antibacterial.
So if we talk if we talk about teeth health, I really started learning about natural remedies for teeth because I had a tooth that needed a root canal. I had two injured teeth from my teenage years playing the sport, and the one, the root, it broke in half, and the root was exposed. They repaired it, but it always bothered me. And a number of years ago now, it's like quite a while, I want to say like 10 years ago or something, I was told I need to get a root canal for that tooth. And I was like, I'm not getting a root canal. And so I started doing all this research to find out about teeth, and I learned that you can actually repair your teeth, and it's hard to do and requires a lot of discipline. It's not something that is like, I would say your body is not making repairing teeth a priority. Like, of all of the functions your body has going on, like liver health and kidneys and getting rid of toxins, like repairing your teeth is probably like way down the list. That's why people, I think, have teeth pulled out. They have cavities and all kinds of things, you know, teeth filled and dental work all the time because your body's not like in repair mode for your teeth. They're, I guess, disposable according to the body. So the book I had is to cure tooth decay, I think, by Nagel, and Nagiel, and he went around the globe looking at indigenous cultures and people who lived off the land to compare their teeth and their gum health and their not their cavities and their oral health to, I guess, Western modern civilizations. And basically these like indigenous cultures who ate like tons of wild crafted foods and gathered foods and like actually high fat diets from healthy animals, whether it was like seafood or from hunting, they had perfect, straight, wonderful teeth, big jaws, and like cheekbones, and they didn't really brush their teeth, you know, and they used like little twigs and like clean their teeth, but they were not, they didn't have cavities, and they had great mouths. And so what happened was, when, I guess, English-speaking people from Europe and the more modern civilizations were introducing modern food to these cultures, their oral teeth and gum health started to decline because they started eating denatured foods and processed foods and white sugar and white flour, and not all of these like plant sources from nature. And so their teeth became like our teeth. And so the book goes into discussion of like how you can repair, and it's basically a diet that has you need to have like essential fatty acids like cod liver, fish oils, flaxseed, fats from, let's say, fish, but it can't be like poorly sourced. Like you need these fats, fat soluble vitamins, ghee, similar to butter, but I don't know quite the difference. I think there's no milk.
Would hemp hearts be another good one?
I think it would, but it would not be enough. Bone broths, like thick stocks, removing sugar from the diet, like processed sugar. And I'm not saying removing like maple syrup and honey, but like processed sugar, processed anything refined. Yeah. And so I think they did an experiment with like children, and as long as they had, like, they could eat one like kind of poor meal a day, like, you know, maybe not so great meal. And as long as they had like 2 really nutrient dense meals a day with these foods that I'm describing, their teeth were able to repair. They were able to repair cavities. So I really was so disciplined with my diet for that time. It took me 2 years until I went back and the x-ray showed it repaired. It was, and I used, I like did the oil pulling. I put essential oils in my mouth. I used tooth powder to remineralize. Maybe it could have been less than 2 years, but until I did the x-rays, it would just wound up being 2 years, I think, total. Now, I did not have like an abscess, so it was just in the x-ray, showed up as a black spot in need of it. They told me like, oh, at any time, like it could just like full blown, you know, So I didn't have one. It would get painful on and off, and every time I did the oil pulling, the pain would go away. So I did that a lot.
Did you put anything in your oil?
I would use thieves oil. So I don't only use Young Living anymore, but pretty much for my mouth. Anything I put in my mouth, it's Young Living. They have food grade essential oils. So the Thieves has cloves, cinnamon, rosemary. I don't remember the whole lemon maybe, but so I use that. Sometimes I would just use clove, but that definitely diminished the pain.
With coconut oil or no?
I use olive oil. So you can use like sesame seed oil, olive oil, coconut oil, probably other oils, but I prefer olive oil. Some people think the olive oil is gross and they like the coconut. If you ask like Ayurvedic practitioners, they'd probably tell you sesame seed oil is like the best and only one, but I like olive oil.
It could be what you have on hand.